If you believe fate can be cruel, hit subscribe, because mine wears heels in my last name. I'm Alara Vale, professional event planner, habitual overthinker, and the proud sister of the bride. Also, inconveniently, the rejected mate of the groom. Yeah, that kind of story. Today I'm arranging centerpieces for the wedding I was supposed to star in. My wolf, still asleep somewhere deep inside me, has the nerve to stay silent while my heart does the ugly crying. I tell myself I'm fine. Because what's a little soul-level betrayal between siblings, right? Dark humor helps. That and the free champagne. When I look at my sister Seraphine, radiant in lace and confidence, and at Kieran Drake, the alpha heir who rejected me under the moon, I smile like I'm not one speech away from burning down the venue. Then fate proves she's got a sense of drama. Because as they exchange vows, the air shifts, and a low, dangerous growl cuts through the music. Every wolf in the room freezes. My pulse skids. From the doorway, framed in moonlight, stands the rival alpha, Ronan Blackwell, broad-shouldered, impossible, and staring straight at me like I just ruined his life. His voice is dark thunder. Mine. The word hits like a spell. And just like that, fate crashes the wedding I didn't want. Chapter 1. People say weddings are magical. I'd argue they're more like war zones with better lighting. The ballroom smells like roses, money, and suppressed rage. A typical Vale family affair. My sister Seraphine insists on a white and gold theme. Of course she does. Gold's her color. I'm more of a black coffee and bad decisions girl. I stand by the cake table, clipboard in hand, watching as she floats down the aisle like a goddess auditioning for a perfume commercial. Her groom, Kieran Drake, waits at the altar, the kind of man who makes silence feel like foreplay. His black suit fits him like sin, his jaw tight, his eyes unreadable. I used to dream about those eyes. Now they can't look at me. Smile, Alara, my mother hisses from her seat. Don't ruin your sister's big day. I flash a grin sharp enough to cut glass. Wouldn't dream of it. If irony were an Olympic sport, I'd have gold medals stacked higher than this cake. Everyone thinks I'm the dutiful little sister, the planner, the peacemaker, the one who holds the family together. They don't know that 3 months ago, Kieran found me under the blood moon, scent matching like a cruel joke. My wolf, dormant and sluggish, stirred for the first time, whispering one word that rewrote my life. Mate. He'd held me, kissed me like I was both a promise and a curse. Then, the next morning, he showed up with Seraphine's engagement ring and the words that shattered me. I can't choose you, Alara. The pack needs this alliance translation. You're expendable. She's strategic. So I helped plan their wedding. Because apparently, I hate myself in high definition. When the ceremony begins, I tell myself I'm numb, that the ache in my chest is just champagne bubbles. But when the priest recites the vows, do you take her as your Luna? Something inside me fractures. The chandelier light catches Kieran's cufflinks. Silver. Fitting. He's always been good at pretending purity while bleeding poison. Seraphine beams. Kieran hesitates a heartbeat too long. I catch it. I always do. And then, the world stills. The music dies mid-chord. The crowd murmurs. That's when the doors slam open. The sound reverberates like a gunshot. A gust of cold night air rolls in, carrying power that prickles along my skin. Wild, electric, ancient. My wolf, that lazy, elusive thing, stirs. A man steps into the light, tall, shadow-cut, dressed in black like sin made flesh. His eyes, storm-gray and burning, lock on mine. Every instinct in me screams to run or kneel, I can't decide which. Kieran's body tenses beside Seraphine. Blackwell, he growls. The name a warning. Oh, that Blackwell. Alpha Ronan Blackwell of the neighboring pack. Infamous, dangerous, rumored to have killed a rogue with his bare hands. His territory and ours have been on the edge of war for years. He shouldn't be here. And yet here he is, looking at me like he's known me his whole damn life. My pulse hammers. The room fades. He walks forward, slow and deliberate, like the world belongs to him and he's tired of pretending otherwise. When he stops in front of me, the scent hits. Wild cedar and rain-soaked earth, primal, grounding, and utterly intoxicating. "Mine," he says, voice low, raw, undeniable. The crowd gasps. My mother drops her clutch. Someone whispers a prayer. Kieran's face drains of color. Seraphine's lips part in horror. And me? I laugh. A small, breathless, unhinged sound. Because of course fate would pull this stunt today. Who needs confetti when destiny's busy ruining your sister's reception? Chapter 2. If you've never seen two alphas stare each other down in the middle of a wedding aisle, you've never truly witnessed chaos in high heels. The air thickens. Every wolf in the ballroom feels it, that dense, electric hum of dominance, the scent of ozone and territorial fury. Someone cuts the music, thank the moon, because the violinist looks 2 seconds from fainting. Kieran Drake steps forward, eyes glowing faint gold, shoulders tight beneath his tailored suit. The perfect groom, now all claws and fury. "Blackwell," he snarls. "You've got 5 seconds to explain yourself before I throw you out of my territory." Ronan doesn't blink. He doesn't have to. The man radiates quiet, coiled violence, the kind that doesn't need to shout. "I'm not here for your territory," he says, voice like gravel sliding over silk. "I'm here for her." Her, as in me, the human disaster currently regretting every life choice that led to standing between two growling alphas and a traumatized wedding cake. "Excuse me?" Seraphine screeches. "You barge into my ceremony and claim my sister? You must be delusional." Ronan's eyes flick toward her, cool and assessing. "If I were delusional, I wouldn't smell the truth." His gaze slides back to me, heat laced with recognition. "You reek of unclaimed power, little wolf." My stomach flips. "Wow," I manage, voice shaky but determined. "That's one way to compliment a girl. You ever tried flowers?" A ripple of laughter breaks from the guests, nervous, brittle. I'm pretty sure half the pack is filming this for future gossip. Kieran's jaw clenches. "Ilara is not your concern." Ronan's smirk is slow and lethal. "She became my concern the moment fate intervened." "I rejected her," Kieran growls. "She's not yours to claim." The rival alpha tilts his head, eyes sharp enough to slice through pride. "And yet your rejection didn't break her scent bond. You can't fake fate, Drake. You can only ignore it." My pulse stutters. "Wait. What?" I hadn't felt my wolf stir in months, not since Kieran's rejection, but now she paces inside me, awake and restless. "Mate," she whispers. "Not Kieran. Not anymore." Ronan. Great. I've officially become a walking soap opera. The tension spikes until the chandeliers flicker. Someone screams when the power surges, magic crackling like lightning between alphas. "Enough!" My father's voice booms from the front row. He's beta of our pack, proud, political, perpetually disappointed in my existence. "This ceremony is sanctioned by the council. You can't just walk in and, 'I can when fate calls,'" Ronan cuts in, his power rolling through the room like a storm front. Wolves in the crowd instinctively bow their heads. My knees almost buckle, but his gaze catches me, steady, anchoring. "You feel it too, don't you, Ilara?" I want to lie. I should lie. But the pull is undeniable, magnetic, cruel. "I don't know what I feel," I whisper. Kieran's hand tightens around Seraphine's. "You're confusing her." Leave Ronan's lips twitch. Not amusement, something darker. "I don't confuse." I claim Seraphine lets out a strangled laugh. "You can't claim her. She's no one." That does it. The entire room goes still. My humiliation ignites into something sharp. I step forward, lifting my chin. "Careful, sister. You'll chip your crown on your ego." The crowd gasps again. Ronan's mouth curves, approval flashing in his eyes. There she is, he murmurs, almost to himself. Kieran releases Seraphine's hand and takes a step toward me. Alara, don't listen to him. You don't know what he's capable of. Oh, I think I'm learning fast, I say. He crashes weddings, causes blackouts, and apparently collects sisters. I'm thrilled. Enough, Kieran snaps. Go to your quarters. I'll handle this. That tone, alpha command, cold and patronizing, flips a switch inside me. Once upon a time, I'd have obeyed, but I'm done being managed. So I square my shoulders and say sweetly, handle it? You mean like how you handled rejecting me and marrying my sister? Great track record, by the way. A low whistle from somewhere in the crowd. Someone mutters, she's got claws. Ronan chuckles, deep and dangerous. You're wasted here, little wolf. Then he reaches into his jacket and pulls out something that gleams in the dim light, a moonstone pendant carved with ancient runes. My breath catches, because it's identical to the one that's been in my family for generations, the one my grandmother said would glow for the true heir of the Vale bloodline. Mine never did. Until now. The stone in his hand pulses softly, silver light spilling between his fingers, and around my neck, under the collar of my dress, something burns, the twin pendant I've worn since childhood. The two stones answer each other, glowing brighter. Gasps ripple through the room. Seraphine's face twists with disbelief. That's impossible, she hisses. Ronan steps closer to me, close enough that the heat of his presence blurs everything else. Fate doesn't ask permission, he murmurs. It only claims what's lost. The scent bond between us flares, wild and raw. My knees threaten to give out, and his hand finds my waist, steadying, possessive, terrifying. My wolf purrs, traitor. From somewhere behind me, Seraphine's voice cracks through the silence. Get your hands off her. Ronan's eyes never leave mine. If she asks me to, I will. The whole room seems to hold its breath, waiting. I should say it. Tell him to let go, save face, keep peace. But instead, I whisper the only truth I've ever felt in my bones. I don't want you to. The crowd erupts. Chapter 3. I always imagined my ruin would be quiet. A private tragedy, a cracked teacup in a sink full of dishes. Instead, it's a trending topic with 3 camera angles and a hashtag. Ronan's hand is warm at my waist, steady, final, while the ballroom detonates into overlapping panic. Wolves crowd the doors, elders bark orders, humans in the know pretend not to be terrified. And Seraphine... Well, Seraphine is making grief look couture. Security, she shrills, pointing at Ronan like he's a rodent and not a 6'2" apocalypse in a suit. Remove him. Remove her. Remove... She flaps, searching for nouns. That necklace. I touch the moonstone beneath my collar. It thrums under my skin, humming like a second heartbeat. Across from me, Ronan's twin stone flares brighter, answering. The pair of them are having a better meet cute than I ever did. Kieran steps into Ronan's space, voice pitched low. Let her go, Blackwell. Ronan doesn't spare him a glance. She asked me not to. There's a moral victory there somewhere, but my legs are jelly, and my sarcasm is on autopilot. I have always wanted an escort out of a party. I was picturing a polite bouncer, not a territorial thunderstorm, but I'm flexible. Before Kieran can retort, the council sigil flashes onto the foyer screens, an iron spiral overlaid with a crescent. The ballroom feeds cut to a crisp-faced woman I recognize immediately, Counselor Morel Voss, the kind of legend mothers cite when their children ask what authority looks like. Elders of Drake territory, her voice booms, modulated through the venue speakers. This is a sanctioned ceremony under council observation. Alpha Ronan Blackwell, your public claim violates protocol. Ronan finally looks up at the cameras as if they've interrupted a private thought. Then, update your protocol. A collective inhale. Somewhere, a violin strings itself into silence. Morel doesn't flinch. You will present the claimed party for verification. Now all heads swivel. Suddenly I'm not a woman. I'm an exhibit. My pulse skitters. Kieran's hand hovers near my arm, not touching. Elara, you don't have to go with him. No, Ronan says, calm as a blade. She goes with me, for her safety. From whom? Seraphine laughs, brittle. Me? Please, I'm the victim here. My wolf, newly awake and opinionated, places a paw on my temper. Victim, my tail, she purrs. I lift my chin. You're the bride, Sarah. Not a martyr. Her eyes sharpen to glass. You always did want what was mine. There it is, the childhood thesis statement. She didn't mean the hairbrush or the dresses, she meant attention. She meant love. She meant me standing in the corner, clapping politely while she collected crowns. Everything okay here? A tuxedoed council aide appears at my elbow like conjured guilt. He smiles with all the sincerity of a parking ticket. Ms. Vale, please accompany Alpha Blackwell to the verification suite. Suite? I echo. Morell's voice returns, smooth. Room B12, moon-warded, discreet. Right, like a fire alarm in a monastery. Kieran bristles. If she goes, I go. Denied, Morell replies. You've declared her unfit to lead by rejecting her bond. You will remain neutral pending evaluation, Seraphine gasps. Kieran! A shadow of regret crosses his face. I almost feel sorry for him. Almost. Ronan's hand tightens, a grounding weight. Elara, he murmurs, for me alone. Breathe. I am, I say, in between famous last words. We move. Wolves peel away, a uneasy corridor opening through sequins and stairs. I catch my mother's eyes. She looks carved from a single block of fear. My father, our beta, doesn't look at me at all. The corridor narrows outside the ballroom. Ronan's enforcers materialize, 2 men and a woman in midnight black, smelling of pine resin and distant storms. One nods at me with professional pity. I answer with professional sarcasm. Nice to meet my kidnappers, I say. Do you validate parking or just collect problematic women? The woman's mouth twitches. Both. We pass the treaties room, the one lined with leather tomes, ancestral oaths, and smug portraits of dead men. Ronan glances at it like it owes him money. Would you forgive your mate for choosing your sister for the pack, or would you burn it all down and start over? Comment your verdict. Forgive or flame, and tell me why. B12 turns out to be a chilled, moon-warded sanctuary with silver inlaid tiles and a glass ceiling showing the night like a benediction. It smells like eucalyptus and sterile decisions. The door seals behind us with a whisper that sounds suspiciously like too late to run. A metadept in slate scrubs bustles in, smartwatch pinging. Elara Vale? I'll need a saliva swab, a scent match, and hand on the stone, please. Alpha Blackwell, you'll mirror romantic, I mutter. First comes swab, then comes claim. Ronan's eyes flick to mine, an amused storm. He bares his wrist, pressing his palm to the embedded moonstone set into the wall. I hesitate. The stone hums, impatient. When my hand meets its surface, a current zips up my arm. Clean, bright, not the chaotic ache I remember from Kieran. My wolf inhales like she's found wildfire after years of damp matches. The Metadepth's console chimes. Resonance at 92%. Ronan's jaw ticks. That's very high. Kieran and I had peaked at... I don't want to think about it. I don't want to remember how hard I tried to force a destiny that didn't want me back. The console chimes again. Scent overlay confirms complementary pairing, atypical pattern. Additional variable detected. Latent shift suppression. I blink. Come again? The adept clears her throat. Something has been suppressing your wolf, chemically or magically. It's fading now, likely proximity triggered. The latent readings are dropping, suppressing. My stomach drops through the polished floor. For how long? Her eyes dart to the console. Years, possibly since adolescence. Ronan goes still. Then deadly soft. Who did that to you? My mouth opens, closes. Memories shuffle. Seraphine's insistence on vitamin regimens from her favorite wellness doctor. Teas that tasted like dandelion and metal. My mother's monthly reminders. You're delicate, Alara. You need balance. The sudden, wheeling dizziness I never questioned because it was easier to be compliant than to be complicated. Shame is a cold, thin thing. Rage is hot and honest. I meet Ronan's gaze. I have a guess. The door seal hisses. Kieran bursts in with Counselor Morell at his shoulder and Seraphine hissing hot on their heels. Guards try to hold them back, but authority squeezes this room like a fist. Morell lifts a hand. Enough. We have a reading. Ms. Vale is under latent suppression. The council will investigate the source. Seraphine laughs too loudly. Suppression? Please. Ilara's always been fragile. The adept's voice sharpens. Suppression is an attack, not a personality trait. Kieran's eyes cut to my throat where the stone pulses. Who? Ronan turns a fraction, placing himself between me and the room like a wall that breathes. We'll find out. We? Seraphine steps forward, veil trembling. You mean you, the man who thinks he can waltz in and rewrite our lives with a growl? Seems to have worked, I say, too tired to swallow the truth. Her eyes glisten with fury. You'd leave me at the altar to chase a scandal? That's a new tier of hypocrisy, I say, voice steadying. You didn't trip into this wedding, Sarah. You climbed morel slices through us with a glance. Drake, Blackwell, stand down. The council finds preliminary cause to place Ms. Vale under protective custody until the suppression source is identified. Given the resonance level, Blackwell's territory is statistically safest. Seraphine staggers like the word safe punched her. You're taking her? Ronan's answer is not for her. It's for me. Only if she says yes. The room waits. My past and future hang between two heartbeats. Kieran's regret tips toward apology I don't want. My mother's fear curdles into something like plea. My father stays stone. Out beyond the glass ceiling, the moon slides free of a cloud, silvering my skin, catching in Ronan's eyes. My wolf stands, shakes off old chains, and looks at the door like it's a horizon. I don't owe this room another sacrifice, I say quietly. Yes. The word unlocks something warm and terrible. Ronan nods once, a vow without fuss. The door opens to a corridor humming with wards and whispers. We step out and the building itself seems to flinch. News drones hover near the portico. Wolves cluster at the curb. The city's night pours over us in sirens and distant laughter and damp asphalt. Ronan's SUV glides up, matte, anonymous, armored like a secret. Kieran catches up at the threshold, eyes raw. Ilara, please! I pivot, and for once I don't feel small beneath anyone's gaze. You chose Kieran. So will I, his mouth opens. Nothing useful comes out. Seraphine's voice lands next, a thrown knife. Run to him then, Ilara. See if fate loves you more than it loves me. I don't need fate to love me, I say. I need me to. Ronan opens the SUV door but lingers, watching me choose. I slide in beside the dangerous man who claimed me without asking and asked without demanding. My pulse steadies in the cage of his presence. He closes the door, and the city cuts off like a severed cord. Inside, the SUV is quiet enough to hear decision settling in my bones. Ronan rests his forearms on his knees, head angled toward me. The storm in his gaze has softened to weather. Your scent, he says low. It's changing. New perfume, I deadpan. Eau de consequence. A ghost of a smile. Keep talking like that and my wolf will forget how to behave. Heat crawls up my neck. Does he usually misbehave? When properly motivated. Oh. The SUV purrs onto the avenue. City lights smear across the windows in streaks of gold and bruised purple. I count traffic signals until the panic loosens its grip. When I finally look at him again, I don't look away. What happens now? I ask. We figure out who tried to silence you, he says. We end it. And if you decide you don't want me after that, I'll live. He means it. The relief hurts. And if I do? He exhales, long and dangerous. Then I'll make this city kneel before you and call it devotion. I swallow a nervous laugh. Low bar. He studies me, something like reverence brushing the edges of his expression. Ilara. Yes? He reaches, slow like weather, and brushes a thumb along the chain at my throat. The moonstone leaps like a heart under his touch. My pulse jumps to meet it. Your wolf is waking, he says. When she surfaces, it will be loud. Like me? Exactly like you. We roll to a stop at a red light. A pedestrian in fairy light stares at the SUV like it might sprout wings. Somewhere behind us, sirens stub out. The city inhales. The moon flares sudden bright behind a cloud, and the heat in my belly blooms into something molten. My palms sweat, my teeth ache, the world snaps into a high definition I've never known. Every sound, every scent, Ronen's cedar and rain, the metallic river of traffic, the ghost of roses from the reception clinging to my dress, rises like a choir. Ilara? Ronen's voice lowers, attentive. Talk to me. I think, I say, breathless, laughing on the edge of a gasp, I'm buffering a little less. His hand finds mine, a careful anchor. I've got you. Then the windshield explodes inward like a silver star. The SUV slews, tires scream, an impact punches the chassis. Ronen yanks me down and covers me with his body in the same motion a second projectile hammers the hood. I smell silver and rot and money. Outside, someone howls the kind of sound that means business. Ronen's wolf erupts under his skin, a growl through a locked door. Rogues, he says, calm as a vow, violent as a promise. Brace. The door wrenches, the night opens its teeth. Chapter 4. The first thing I taste is blood, metallic, hot, and mine. The second is fear, sharp as ozone. Ronen's weight covers me, all muscle and growl, while shards of glass rain down like cursed snowflakes. The SUV rocks again. Something slams into the side panel, leaving claw marks deep enough to make my spine twitch. Stay down, Ronen snaps. I'm way ahead of you, I yell back, face pressed to the seat. You think this is voluntary yoga? He almost laughs, almost, before the roof caves slightly under another impact. A hand, black-veined and stinking of silver burn, claws for the door handle. Ronen moves like a storm unchained. One moment he's above me, the next he's gone, ripping open the opposite door and yanking a rogue clean out of the vehicle. The sound of bone-meeting metal follows. I scramble up, glass crunching under my heels, and spot them through the cracked windshield. 3 rogues circling like vultures, eyes glowing sick green. They're fast, feral, and they reek of tainted magic. Stay in the car, he shouts, as if I've ever listened to anyone who used that tone. My heart stutters, a deep, pulsing rhythm that syncs with the pendant burning against my skin. I feel something inside me, something ancient and furious, start to stretch. My wolf, she's awake, and she is not amused. He bleeds, she snarls. Ours bleeds. Do something. I don't even have claws yet, I hiss back, like we're having a casual argument instead of dying. Then use your teeth. Helpful! Ronen throws one rogue into another with a wet crack. He's fast, terrifyingly so, but outnumbered. Silver glints. One rogue draws a dagger and plunges it toward his ribs. I don't think. I just move. I grab the nearest thing that looks dangerous, a broken shard of window, and launch myself out the door like a lunatic in heels. My arm swings, pure adrenaline, and the glass bites through the rogue's throat. He gurgles, eyes wide, then drops. I blink. Oh! Then, to no one in particular. That was not in the wedding planner handbook. Ronen spins, eyes blazing gold. For a moment, he looks ready to drag me back into the SUV by sheer alpha command. Then he sees the blood streaking my arm and the corpse at my feet. And something like pride flares behind his fury. Next time, he growls, you warn me before you decide to be brave. Next time, I pant, you duck faster. A snarl cuts off our argument, the last rogue lunging from the shadows. Ronan grabs him midair, twists, and the sound that follows is final. The street falls silent. City sirens wail distantly, the mortal world still oblivious to the supernatural battle that just redecorated downtown asphalt. Ronan wipes blood from his mouth with the back of his hand. His eyes, still gold, flick over me, checking for wounds. "You hurt?" I look down. My palms are bleeding from glass cuts, dress torn, heart hammering. Just my dignity. He steps closer, brushing away a stray piece of glass from my hair. His touch is gentle, absurdly gentle for someone who just killed 3 people. "Your wolf," he murmurs. "She's surfacing. Tell her to make an appointment next time." He chuckles, low and dark. "You just took down a rogue with a piece of glass, Alara." "You think she's waiting for an invitation?" The ground under us hums, faint, rhythmic. It takes me a second to realize it's not the earth. It's me. My body trembles with a strange heat, power simmering under my skin like a heartbeat that doesn't belong to just me anymore. "I can feel her," I whisper, "like she's pacing." Ronan studies me. Shift suppression compounds can block the physical change, but when they fade, the rebound can be violent. You might feel feverish, disoriented. "Oh, good," I mutter. "Nothing says romance like vomiting in your rescuer's car." He grins, teeth still faintly edged with gold. "I've seen worse. You have a weird dating history." The humor fades when he kneels beside one of the dead rogues and rolls the body. Etched into the man's wrist is a sigil, a familiar one, stylized gold intertwined with a silver crescent. My stomach drops. "That's a Drake crest." "Modified," he corrects grimly. "Means someone inside your sister's pack hired them." "They were ordered to bring you back alive." "Alive," I echo. "How comforting." He straightens, eyes dark. "We're leaving. Whoever paid for this will send more." He reaches for his comms. "Aiden, status." A voice crackles through, male and steady. "Rogues down. Extraction 2 minutes." "Good." He turns to me. "Get in the car." I cross my arms. "Which one? The Swiss cheese one, or the one that's on fire?" He looks over his shoulder. Sure enough, one of the SUVs is smoking politely. He huffs out a laugh despite himself. "You're impossible." "I get that a lot." He steps closer, hand brushing my elbow. The moment he touches me, warmth floods through my body, calming the tremors. It's grounding, dangerous, addictive. "Mate," my wolf whispers again, softer now, safe. I want to argue, but the word burrows too deep. He opens the surviving SUV door and gestures me in. "You can fight me later. For now, you're coming home with me." I blink. "Home?" "Blackwell territory." He gives me that steady, infuriating look, "where no one can touch you." My heart trips. "So what? I'm under protective custody?" "You're under my protection." That sounds suspiciously like kidnapping with extra steps. He smirks. "Call it fate enforcement." Before I can respond, the convoy moves. The city fades into streaks of neon, then into the wilderness that rings the urban packs, mist, forest, and ancient wards humming at the edge of sight. I lean back against the seat, exhaustion threading through the adrenaline. My sister's not going to take this well. "She'll try something," Ronan says simply. "Let her." "I'm done letting small people write your story." I turn my head, studying him. "You don't even know me." His hand finds mine, rough fingers brushing the back of my knuckles. "Then let me." Something in my chest gives way, like a locked door swinging open. I don't pull back. We drive in silence for miles, the hum of the engine and the distant call of night creatures our only soundtrack. When we finally cross into his territory, I feel it. An invisible veil, thick and alive, brushing against my skin. A barrier of old magic. Ronan glances at me. "Feel that?" I nod. "It's like walking through static." "Wards keyed to my bloodline," he explains. Once you're inside, no one gets in without my permission. Convenient, I say, eyes on the dark forest outside. And a little terrifying. He smiles faintly. You'll get used to it. The SUV turns down a gravel road lined with silver lanterns. Ahead, through the mist, rises a mansion of black stone and glass. Elegant, severe, glowing faintly with moonlight. It looks like the kind of place built for legends, not people with sarcasm problems. I whistle. You live here? It's quieter than the city. Yeah, because everything else is too scared to make noise. He chuckles again, that deep, reluctant sound that always feels like the first crack in his armor. As the SUV stops, his enforcers fan out, scanning the perimeter. He opens my door, offering his hand. Welcome to Blackwell territory, Alara Vale? I hesitate. Then I take it. The moment our palms meet, the moonstone around my neck flares white, brighter than before, almost blinding. The wolves nearby bow instinctively, their heads lowering in deference not to Ronan, but to me. The light fades. I stare at him, wide-eyed. What the hell was that? His expression is unreadable. Recognition. For what? He smiles, slow and knowing. For their Luna. Chapter 5. If anyone ever asks, there's nothing graceful about being declared Luna by accident. The word still echoes through the courtyard when every wolf around us bows. To me. Not to Ronan, not to power. To fate, apparently, who's been writing fan fiction about my humiliation arc since birth. Stand up, I hiss under my breath, waving at them. Please, stop doing the worship thing. I'm not even housebroken yet. A blonde enforcer, Aiden, I think, hides a smirk. Too late, ma'am, the Bond responded. The wards recognized you, I blink. Recognized me as what? His Luna, he says simply. The wards only react like that to the bonded mate of the Alpha. Oh, I deadpan. So the magical security system just outed my relationship status. Ronan's lips twitch. You'll get used to it. Doubtful, I mutter, stepping out of the SUV and trying to brush glass dust off my ruined dress. I look like I crawled out of an apocalypse. Can someone point me toward the guest suite, or do you have a crash course on being accidentally royal? Ronan gestures toward the mansion. Inside, we'll start with food. You look ready to pass out. I'm fine, I lie, wobbling slightly. He doesn't buy it. You just killed a rogue with glass, got ambushed, awakened your wolf, and got crowned by moonlight. Sit down before you do something heroic again, I grumble, but follow. The house is a study in contradictions. Sleek, modern lines built into ancient stone, the scent of cedar and candle smoke everywhere. It hums with quiet energy, the kind that makes the hair on your arms rise. The entryway opens into a great hall with vaulted ceilings and walls lined with old maps and moonlit portraits. Wolves move through the corridors with fluid precision, all of them watching me with curiosity, none daring to speak first. I can feel them staring, I whisper. They've never seen the wards choose anyone before, Ronan murmurs beside me. I glance at him. Never? Not since my mother. That shuts me up. He leads me to a dining room that could host a royal council. Long oak table, silver candelabra, walls alive with quiet light. He pulls out a chair. I sit, mostly because my legs stopped negotiating with me. Aiden appears with a tray of food, grilled salmon, steamed vegetables, and something that smells like rosemary and redemption. I nearly moan at the first bite. I don't know what's in this, I say, but I'd commit minor crimes for more. Keep eating, Ronan says softly. You're pale. I arch an eyebrow. You really know how to flatter a girl. I meant, you look exhausted. Oh, so still flattering. His smile flickers again, a small, genuine thing that cracks through his stoic armor. It's unfair how attractive he looks when he's pretending not to care. When I'm halfway through demolishing my plate, Aiden clears his throat. Alpha, we've traced one of the rogue signatures. They were paid through a shell company registered under Drake Holdings. I freeze, fork halfway to my mouth. Drake as in... Ronan nods grimly. Your sister's family? Of course, I mutter. Nothing says sibling love like attempted kidnapping. He looks at Aiden. Send the report to Counselor Voss. Have her keep it quiet until we know more. Aiden bows and leaves. When the room quiets, I lean back and study him. So, my sister tried to drug my wolf, marry my mate, and have me kidnapped in one day. I think that's a personal record. Ronan's jaw flexes. It won't happen again. Right, I say dryly, because I'm under protective custody. His eyes flash gold, because I won't let it. The way he says it, quiet, certain, like a promise branded in air, does something inconvenient to my pulse. Do you always sound like an action movie trailer? I ask. He leans back in his chair, a glint of humor returning. Only when I'm trying to calm stubborn women who almost got themselves killed. I'm sensing a theme, I say. Do all alphas collect sarcasm magnets? Or am I a special case? Special, he says simply. Oh, that word shouldn't sound dangerous. But from him it does. The guest suite is bigger than my old apartment. The walls are painted in muted grays, the bed draped in silk and fur, the windows opening to a forest that glows faintly under moonlight. A fresh set of clothes waits folded at the foot of the bed. Soft leggings, a hoodie, and, bizarrely, a pair of fluffy socks with wolf ears. Cute, I mutter, holding them up. Are these supposed to help with trauma recovery? A low voice from the doorway answers, They were my beta's idea. I whirl. Ronan leans against the doorframe, casual but watchful. He's traded his blood-stained shirt for a black Henley, sleeves pushed to his elbows, tattoos faintly visible along his forearm, runes that look older than sin. You shouldn't be here, I say. This is my house. Okay, fine. I shouldn't be here. He takes a step closer, expression unreadable. You're safe here, Alara. That's what matters, I cross my arms. You don't even know what safety looks like for me. For all you know, I sleep better next to chaos. He chuckles. You'll have to trust me on this. Trust you? I raise an eyebrow. I just met you like 6 dramatic hours ago. True, he says, eyes glinting. But fate's had us penciled in for longer. I groan. You sound like a walking prophecy. Occupational hazard. Silence settles between us, heavy, electric, full of words neither of us is ready to say. I look away first, tracing the window's edge. He notices. Your wolf's stirring again. Yeah, I admit. She keeps pacing. It's like she's itching for something. Freedom, he says. She's been caged her whole life. I bite my lip. How do I uncage her? His gaze darkens, slow and deliberate. Training, patience, trust, sounds suspiciously like a dating manual. Sometimes, he says quietly, it is. The way he's looking at me makes my skin heat. I glance down at the floor. You really need to stop saying things that sound like foreplay. He laughs softly. I haven't even started yet. Oh, Moon, help me. He reaches for the pendant around my neck, the moonstone still glowing faintly. His thumb brushes the gem, and something inside me sparks. My breath catches. What are you doing? Testing something, he murmurs. The air between us hums, sharp with static. The bond's strengthening. When your wolf wakes fully, it will amplify. Amplify what? His eyes lift to mine. Everything. My heart stumbles. You're dangerously vague, you know that? I prefer mysterious. Of course you do. He lets go of the pendant and steps back, voice low. Rest. Tomorrow we start finding whoever dosed you. And, Alara... Yeah? Don't apologize for surviving today. You didn't break fate. You rewrote it. Then he leaves, closing the door behind him. I exhale slowly, sitting on the edge of the bed. The moonlight spills across the floor, and for the first time in years, I feel something wild and alive unfurl inside me. Not broken, not weak, just waiting. And in the faint reflection of the window, I swear I see silver eyes staring back. Not mine, but hers. My wolf. She smiles. Tomorrow, she whispers. We rise. Chapter 6. Morning comes like it's trying too hard. The sun's bright, birds are chirping, and I'm still in last night's hoodie, contemplating whether it's too early to fake my own death. Ronen's pack wakes early. I can hear them training outside, boots crunching over gravel, the low growl of shifting wolves, laughter that sounds like thunder. I pull back the curtain, and there they are. A dozen bodies moving in perfect rhythm, black uniforms gleaming, energy rolling off them like waves. And then there's him, barefoot, shirtless, sparring with Aiden. Of course, I mutter. He's one of those alphas, the kind who works out like he's trying to give the moon a show. My wolf purrs in my chest. Look at him, she whispers. That's ours. Down, girl, I mutter, tugging the curtain closed. We're not objectifying the help. Help? She snorts. You're adorable when you lie to yourself. Late, Ronen says when I finally appear, hair in a messy bun and coffee cup glued to my hand. Fashionably, I correct, squinting at the sunlight. You should try it sometime. Aiden smirks. She's got bite. Not yet, I say. But give me a week, Ronen's lips twitch. We'll see. The others bow slightly before dispersing, leaving me alone with the alpha who somehow made sleeplessness look regal. So what's the plan? I ask. You gonna throw me into the wilderness and hope for the best? He shakes his head. We start simple. Movement, breath work, resistance. Your wolf needs to trust your body again. Okay, but full disclosure, I trip on flat surfaces. He chuckles, low and genuine. Then don't look down. We move into the clearing. The air smells of pine and dew. The ground's soft beneath my bare feet. Ronen stands behind me, close enough that his heat ghosts against my spine. Close your eyes. Why? Planning to push me over? Trust me. I hate when people say that right before trauma. Still, I close my eyes. Breathe, he murmurs, voice softer now. In through your nose. Out through your mouth, the world narrows. Just sound, scent, and heartbeat. Now, listen, he says. Do you hear it? The birds? He shakes his head. Under that. And then I do hear it, the faint echo of my own pulse syncing with something deeper, older, like a heartbeat under the earth. That's her, he says quietly. Your wolf. My chest tightens. She sounds angry. She's not angry, he says. She's awake. And she's been caged too long. He circles me slowly, voice steady. You've spent your life suppressing what you are. That suppression compound muted your instincts, dulled your senses. We'll fix that. How? He smirks. By making you uncomfortable. Fantastic, I mutter. Exactly what I needed in a man. Focus, he warns. Find her. Let her move through you. At first, it feels ridiculous. I stand in a field with my eyes closed, trying to feel like an apex predator while wearing sweatpants. But then something shifts. My heart speeds up, matching a rhythm that isn't mine alone. My fingertips tingle. I open my eyes and everything looks sharper. The colors, the light, even Ronen. He's haloed in gold, every movement fluid and dangerous. Good, he murmurs. Now, catch me. What? He steps back. You heard me. I can barely catch my breath. Then this will be educational. And then he's gone, vanished into a blur of motion. Oh, you have got to be kidding me, I hiss, lunging after him. The first few tries are humiliating. He moves like smoke, silent and fast. My attempts are all flailing arms and curses. Faster, my wolf urges. He's testing you. I can't see him. You don't need to see. I inhale, and this time I smell him. Rain, cedar, the metallic tang of power. I pivot, lunge, and somehow manage to tackle him to the ground. He lands hard, more surprised than hurt. My hands are on his chest, my hair wild around us, both of us breathing hard. Gotcha, I gasp. His smile is slow, dangerous. You did. And then I realize what position we're in. Me straddling him, his hands gripping my hips for balance. The tension snaps between us, electric and undeniable. I clear my throat. I should probably get off you. He doesn't move. You could. My voice goes dry. Or you could admit this bond scares you. I blink. Excuse me? He sits up, keeping me caged between his knees. You feel it. Every time you fight it, she fights you back. She? Your wolf. His eyes flash gold. She knows what she wants. And what's that? You? It takes a second for that to land. That's deeply unhelpful. He chuckles, brushing a stray leaf from my hair. Don't overthink it. The bond isn't a cage. It's a compass. Pretty sure compasses don't make your stomach flip. Mine does, he says. Oh, the sound of footsteps saves me from combusting. Aiden jogs over, panting slightly. Alpha, urgent call from Counselor Voss. She says it's about the suppression case. Ronan's expression hardens. Put it through. Aiden hands him the comms device. Voss's face flickers on the small hollow screen, crisp and severe. Alpha Blackwell, Miss Vale. Counselor, Ronan nods. You have something? Yes. She hesitates. We've confirmed the compound used on Miss Vale's bloodline. It's called Luna Calm. Created decades ago to suppress female heirs, keep them docile. Only high-ranking families had access. My stomach turns. You mean my own pack did this? Not the pack, Voss says. Your family. The Vale matriarch signed the first order. My blood goes cold. My mother? Voss nods grimly. Your mother worked with the Drakes to hide the true heir. You were meant to stay powerless, ensuring Seraphine's claim to Luna. Ronan's hand curls into a fist. Where is she now? Gone to ground, Voss says. But we'll find her. The call ends. Silence drops heavy as stone. I can't breathe. She knew? Ronan's voice is quiet. She feared your power. I laugh, hollow, bitter. My mother drugged her daughter to make her easier to love. That's poetic, in a horrifying way. He steps closer. Elara. No, I whisper. Don't. I can't, but he does. He reaches for me, pulling me against his chest, letting me break in silence. My hands fist in his shirt, tears burning my eyes. I was never weak, I say through clenched teeth. They made me weak. He presses his forehead to mine. Then we'll make you strong again. Something inside me stirs, power, fierce and raw. My wolf growls softly, echoing my heartbeat. We rise, she says again. Together. When I finally pull back, Ronan's expression is pure storm. We start tonight. Full moon training. No holding back. Why? Because if the people who caged you want you powerless, then the most dangerous thing you can do is awaken completely. I nod, wiping my face. Fine. But if I start glowing again, I'm blaming you. He smiles, fierce and proud. Deal. Chapter 7. The moon is too bright tonight. It hangs over Blackwell territory like a silver eye that's seen too much, burning through the mist, daring me to break. Ronan said the first shift is always the hardest, like your body's arguing with fate and losing beautifully. He wasn't kidding. Every nerve in my body feels like it's been rewired to ache. My skin hums, my bones itch, my wolf claws at the edges of my mind like she's been locked up too long and now the cell door's rusted open. I hate this, I mutter, pacing the training field barefoot. Ronan stands a few feet away, calm as the night itself, dressed in black from throat to boots. His eyes glow faint gold under the moonlight. You're doing fine. I'm sweating glitter and hearing voices. That's your definition of fine? He smirks. You'll live. Ronan, if I explode, I'm haunting you. Duly noted. He takes a slow step toward me, voice steady. The shift isn't a fight, Elara. It's a surrender. You don't force her out, you let her through. I grit my teeth. I'm not great at surrender. I know. His voice softens. That's why this will be beautiful. Of course, the man makes emotional destruction sound poetic. The pack gathers at a distance. Aiden, the healers, a few sentinels. I catch snippets of their whispers. She's the Veil girl, the one who was muted. She's going to rise tonight. No pressure. Ronan gestures for me to move closer to the circle of stones at the center of the field. Here, the wards will guide you. The stones glow faintly, runes carved in spirals. I can feel their pull, ancient and familiar, like a language my body remembers even if my mind doesn't. I step into the circle. The world tilts. The ground breathes. My pulse aligns with the earth's rhythm. Now, my wolf whispers, stop running. And then it hits. Not pain exactly, but something bigger. My heart expands until I swear it'll tear through my ribs. Heat floods my veins, molten silver replacing blood. My knees buckle. Elara! Ronan moves, but I throw up a hand. No, I gasp. Let me do this. The air hums. My spine arches. Bones creak and reform. Light spills from under my skin, shimmering silver blue. It should hurt more than it does. Instead, it feels like being unmade. And remade better. I scream, but it's not fear anymore. It's freedom. When the light fades, I'm not standing anymore. I'm alive in a way I never was before. Paws sink into the earth. Breath steams in the night. The world explodes in scent and color. Pine, dew, blood, him. I blink. No, not blink. See, through eyes that are not human. Ronan's voice is a low, reverent whisper. You're magnificent. His wolf steps forward, dark as obsidian, eyes burning like a twin flame to mine. Mate, my wolf growls softly. Home. But the moment shatters when a scent cuts through the wind. Sharp, familiar, wrong. Seraphine. Before I can even process it, she steps out of the tree line, still human, dressed in pale silk that glows like venom under the moonlight. Behind her stand 3 Drake enforcers, armed and furious. Well, she says, voice sugar-coated poison, look at you. Our little runt finally grew fangs. Ronan shifts instantly, human again in a blur of movement, his body shielding mine. You're trespassing, Seraphine. Oh, I'm family, she purrs. I can visit my sister whenever I like. Ronan's power rolls out, thick and warning. Not here. Not tonight, she laughs, brittle. What are you going to do, Alpha? Kill me? That'd make an excellent headline. Blackwell's Luna murders her own blood. My wolf snarls low. Ronan glances at me, a silent question. I shake my head, shifting back, silver light folding into skin and breath. My body hits the grass, trembling, half naked and defiant. Enough, Seraphine, I rasp, voice raw from power. You don't get to ruin this too. She tilts her head, all teeth. Ruin? Elara, darling, you stole my wedding, my alliance, my status. I'm here to return the favor. She pulls something from her sleeve. A syringe, glittering faintly in the moonlight. The scent hits me instantly, Lunacalm. Ronan moves, too fast for human eyes. But one of her enforcers lunges first. I duck, instincts blazing, and sweep his legs. He hits the dirt with a satisfying crack. Who taught you to fight? Seraphine sneers. I grin through my exhaustion. Trauma. You might have heard of it. She lunges, faster than I expect, jamming the syringe toward me. I grab her wrist, forcing it away. The liquid splashes, burning the ground where it lands. Ronan's roar shakes the field. He's pure fury, pure alpha. The Drake enforcers fall back immediately, instincts overriding arrogance. Seraphine freezes, trembling in his shadow. You think you can protect her forever? She's not like us. He steps closer, his voice a lethal whisper. You're right. She's better. Her eyes flash with hate. You'll regret this, both of you. Then she vanishes into the tree line, her enforcers scattering after her like ghosts. The silence that follows is deafening. Ronan turns to me, chest heaving. Are you hurt? I shake my head. Just tired of family reunions. He exhales, tension bleeding from his shoulders. She won't stop. No, I agree. But neither will I. He steps closer, brushing his thumb across my cheek. A grounding touch. You did it, he murmurs. You shifted. I smile weakly. You mean I didn't combust? He laughs, low and rough. You were extraordinary. Extraordinary's a strong word for someone who just punched her sister barefoot. He cups my face, eyes softening. Ilara, you faced everything they took from you, and you took it back. That's not ordinary, that's power. The way he says it, like it's holy, makes my throat tighten. Careful, I whisper. I might start believing you. Good, he says, because tomorrow the war begins. I blink. War? He nods toward the woods. Seraphine didn't come alone. She came to test the wards. The drakes are aligning with rogue packs. They'll come for you again, I swallow hard. Then they'll find I'm not the same girl they drugged. A slow, dangerous smile spreads across his lips. No, you're the Luna they should have feared. The moon breaks through the clouds again, painting everything silver. My wolf hums under my skin, restless and ready. And for the first time, I don't feel small. I feel infinite. Let them come, she whispers. We are not prey anymore. Chapter 8. It's strange how quiet a war can sound before it begins. The morning after Seraphine's attack, Blackwell territory hums like a beast holding its breath. Every corridor feels tighter. Every face I pass wears the same grim anticipation. And me? I'm still reeling from the fact that I shifted, that my bones broke, rebuilt, and the world didn't end. Actually, it just got louder. I can hear heartbeats now, faint, steady rhythms echoing through stone walls. I can smell emotions, fear, determination, hunger, even him, especially him, Ronan. He's been in the war room since dawn, strategizing with his beta and council reps. I've been pacing the library, trying not to accidentally sniff people for comfort. Finally, I lose patience and barge in. Maps cover the long oak table, territories marked with sigils, some circled in red. The scent of ink and tension is heavy. Ronan glances up. His eyes catch mine, and the whole room blurs into background noise. Morning, he says, voice rough from hours of command. Define morning, I reply, crossing my arms, because according to my internal clock, it's been a lifetime. Aiden grins from the far side of the table. She's feisty today. I'm feisty every day, I mutter. Today I'm also traumatized and under-caffeinated. That gets a small smile from Ronan, the one that could melt titanium. He gestures for me to join them. Come here. You should see this. I walk closer, scanning the map. The Drake crest marks several red zones near the border. They're moving, he says, small packs aligning under the Drake's command. Your sister's building a coalition, and not just out of wounded pride. Someone's backing her, I frown. Who? He slides a photo across the table. A man, tall, dark suit, colder eyes than winter. This is Lord Varen. Old money, former council financier. He's been supplying rogue packs for years. Why would he care about Seraphine? Because she promised him a Luna with your bloodline's gifts, a controlled heir. You were supposed to stay suppressed, I blink. So now I'm what? A political inconvenience? Ronan's gaze darkens. You're a threat. And that's exactly what I need you to be. My wolf stirs, pleased. Finally, someone gets it. By noon, I'm back in the field. This time I'm in tactical gear. Fitted black uniform, boots, hair braided tight, Ronan insisted. Apparently, comfy hoodie chic isn't battle appropriate. He paces before me, all alpha command and quiet danger. Shift control isn't about brute strength, he says. It's about choice. You control the beast, or it controls you. Great, I say, so no pressure. He chuckles. We'll start simple. Channel the wolf without changing form. Focus her senses. I close my eyes. The forest hums. I can smell pine, metal, and Ronan's heartbeat. Too focused on me, he says. Not my fault you smell like expensive sin, I shoot back. His laugh is low, rough, the kind that curls down your spine. Concentrate, Ilara. I try again, pushing past the flutter in my chest. The sounds sharpen, colors bloom behind my eyelids, and a low growl rises unbidden from my throat. Primal, ancient. When I open my eyes, Ronan's watching me like I just bent reality. Good, he murmurs. Now aim it. How? Like this. He moves behind me, his hand sliding over mine, guiding my stance. His breath ghosts against my ear. See that oak? Yeah. Imagine it's your target. Okay, why? Because I want you to hit it. I laugh, right until power surges through my chest. The air hums. A blast of energy shoots from my palm, cracking against the tree with enough force to strip bark. I stare. Holy! He grins. Moonfire, rare in your bloodline. Your wolf doesn't just bite, Ilara. She burns. My hands tremble. You could have warned me. I did. You just don't listen. Then stop standing so close when you lecture. He leans in, eyes gleaming. But then I'd miss watching you light up. My pulse misbehaves. That's not fair, he smirks. Nothing about fate ever is. Before I can form a comeback, Aiden jogs over, out of breath, face pale. Alpha. We've got a problem, Ronan's voice sharpens instantly. Talk. It's the west border. Someone disabled the perimeter wards from the inside. My stomach drops. Inside? Aiden nods grimly. We checked logs. It was Beta Callan's signature. The air freezes. Callan, Ronan's second in command, loyal since childhood. Ronan's expression goes cold. Where is he? Gone. Took 2 patrol units with him. Ronan's hands clench. The power in his voice makes even the wind still. Find him. Aiden nods and vanishes into motion. I step forward. What does this mean? It means Seraphine's not waiting anymore, he says tightly. She's already inside. My wolf bristles. Let them come. But the look on his face makes my chest ache, not fear but disappointment. Betrayal hits harder when it comes from family, and in packs, Beta means brother. He exhales, rubbing his temple. She'll strike at dusk. That's how Seraphine works. She'll want spectacle, so what do we do? He meets my gaze. We make it her last show. By sunset, the estate transforms into a fortress. Wards shimmer like heat waves over the fields. Wolves line the perimeter, weapons drawn. I stand at the balcony above the great hall, heart pounding. Below, Ronan briefs the ranks. Steady, fierce, absolute. They'll come for her. Let them. This pack protects its Luna. The words echo through the stone like a promise carved into fate. I swallow hard. You're really leaning into that title, I call down. He looks up at me, eyes molten gold. Because it's true. Something inside me unravels. Not weakness. Something closer to belonging. Later, when the hall empties and the stars crawl higher, I find him alone by the window. The moonlight cuts across his face, half shadow, half silver. You should rest, he says without turning. So should you, I reply, stepping beside him. We stand in silence, the weight of what's coming pressing between us. Then he turns, and the look in his eyes makes the air thin. Ilara, he murmurs, voice low. If anything happens tomorrow, no, I step closer. Don't you dare give me a farewell speech. He smiles faintly. Always arguing. Always surviving, I correct. His hand comes up, fingers brushing my cheek. You drive me insane. Occupational hazard of saving me. His thumb lingers at my jaw. Tell me to stop. I can't, because for the first time in forever, I don't want to. He leans in, slow, deliberate, giving me every chance to pull away. I don't. His lips meet mine, soft at first, then deeper, hungrier. It's not just a kiss, it's an oath, a promise sealed under the moon. When we finally part, I whisper against his skin. You're still my favorite bad decision." He laughs, breathless. "You'll make me reckless." "Good," I murmur. "You're less fun when you're calm." He kisses me again, rougher this time, and the bond between us flares, raw and electric. My wolf hums, content. Finally, she sighs. We remember what it means to belong. We stand there until the night tilts toward danger, our hearts sinking with the pulse of the pack below. Tomorrow, war waits. But tonight, we breathe. Because the girl who was once silenced is now fire, and the alpha who claimed her knows it. Chapter 9. The night before battle always smells the same. Metal, fear, and the quiet kind of hope you can only feel when you've got nothing left to lose. The moon hangs low and red, swollen, bleeding light across the sky. The blood moon, Ronan called it. The night when bonds are tested and lies come to collect. I stand on the balcony overlooking the courtyard, armor-laced, hair braided, moonstone pendant thrumming against my collarbone like it knows what's coming. Below, the pack readies, wolves sharpening blades, checking runes, whispering prayers. And somewhere in the distance, drums echo, the sound of the Drake's army approaching. I take a shaky breath. Well, I mutter, if anyone's live-streaming this to the afterlife, please make sure my lighting's decent. Ronan's voice rumbles behind me. Still making jokes before war? I glance over my shoulder. He's in full alpha armor, black leather traced with silver sigils, a sword strapped across his back, eyes glowing faint gold. He looks like a prophecy with anger issues. It's either jokes or panic vomiting, I say. Humor wins by a small margin. He steps closer, resting a hand on my shoulder. Stay near me tonight. No heroics define heroics. Anything involving you bleeding, I grin. So, light heroics only. He sighs, but there's affection hidden in it. Alara, I know. My smile fades. I'll be careful. He leans in, pressing his forehead to mine, an unspoken vow between Alpha and Luna. You don't have to prove anything tonight, he murmurs. You already have. Funny, I whisper. I was about to say the same to you. It starts with the wind. A cold gust rolls through the forest, carrying the scent of iron and fire. Then, the distant chorus of howls. Dozens, maybe hundreds. Aiden bursts into the courtyard, panting. They're here. Westgate Ronan's posture shifts from man to alpha in an instant. Positions! The pack moves as one, trained, lethal, loyal. The gates groan open, and moonlight floods in over the invading force. The Drake's wolves, armored and snarling, led by Seraphine herself. She's radiant and venomous, dressed in white leather that gleams like bone. Her eyes find mine immediately, and her smile is all teeth. Little sister, she calls. Nice of you to save me the trouble of hunting you. I call back. Couldn't resist ruining another one of your parties. Her face twists. Still hiding behind alphas to feel important? Still poisoning yours to stay relevant? Ronan's growl cuts the air. Enough talk. Then the world erupts. Wolves collide, steel flashes, magic cracks the night open. I duck beneath a swipe, roll, and fling a burst of moonfire. The silvery energy slamming into a Drake enforcer, sending him flying. The ground glows where it hits, burning bright. Ronan fights like chaos tamed, fast, brutal, precise. Every strike is poetry written in blood. Left, my wolf warns, and I pivot, blocking another blow. The power between us hums. Bond alive, magnetic. Wherever I move, he's there. Wherever he turns, I cover him. We move like we've done this for lifetimes. The tide starts to shift, until the West Tower explodes. I look up just in time to see Callan, Ronan's former beta, standing in the smoke, eyes glowing silver red. Corruption. His scent reeks of it, of Lunacalm, of Drake blood. Callan, Ronan roars. You don't have to do this. I already did, Callan sneers, holding up a detonator rune. She offered freedom, Ronan. You offered a cage. He slams his palm down. The rune ignites, sending shockwaves through the wards. The barrier around the estate fractures. "No!" I shout, throwing up a hand. Instinct takes over. Moonfire surges from me, forming a shimmering dome that holds the breach. My vision blurs, every muscle screaming. Ronan's voice is distant. "Alara, stop! You'll burn out! I can hold it!" I choke out. "Just stop them!" He hesitates a heartbeat, then trusts me. He charges, tackling Callan with a snarl. The two crash into the tower, steel against steel, claws against rage. I keep the barrier steady, light spilling through my fingers, vision fracturing into white and heat. My wolf howls inside me. "You are not weak. Hold the line." And I do. But then a scream cuts through the noise. Seraphine's. She's not screaming from pain. She's screaming my name. "Alara, look at what you've done." I turn and see her standing over someone crumpled near the edge of the field. My breath catches. It's Ronan. Blood drips from his side, silver against his dark armor. Something inside me snaps. The bond erupts. The pendant at my throat flares, brighter than lightning. The moon itself seems to pause. I don't remember moving, just becoming. Light bursts from me, wild and blinding, waves of silver flame sweeping across the battlefield. Drake wolves stagger, blinded, the corrupted collapse, howling. Even Seraphine stumbles back, eyes wide. "Impossible," she whispers. Ronan groans, barely conscious, his hand reaching for me. "Alara." I kneel beside him, fury and fear mingling in my throat. "You should have let me go easy." He smiles faintly. "Wouldn't dream of it." "Hold on," I say, pressing my palm to his wound. "You're not dying before I finish yelling at you." The moonfire flows from my hand, not burning, but healing. His wound seals, light sinking into his skin. When his eyes open again, they're molten gold. He stares at me like I'm something holy. "What are you?" he breathes. "Finally awake," I whisper. The surviving Drake wolves retreat, their leader screaming orders. Seraphine stays, always too proud to run. "You think you've won?" she snarls. "You're nothing without me. I made you." I step forward, moonlight wrapping around me like armor. "You made me small." I fixed it. Her fury breaks, she lunges, claws out. I catch her wrist midair. For a heartbeat, we're just two sisters. Mirror images divided by envy. "I didn't want your throne," I whisper. "Just my freedom," she spits. "Then take it." She breaks the connection, driving her dagger into her own chest, a blade laced with silver. Shock freezes me as she crumples. Ronan catches me before I fall with her. "Alara, I didn't, she—" My voice cracks. He pulls me close. "She chose her end." "Not you," I look at her still form. The moonfire flickering out around us. She never understood that fate wasn't something to steal. It was something to face. By dawn, it's over. The Drake forces scatter. The traitors are bound. The wards mend themselves under my touch, shimmering whole again. Ronan's pack bows as we walk through the courtyard, not out of fear but recognition. The new Luna has risen. Ronan stops beside me, gaze soft but proud. "You changed everything." I smile faintly. "Technically, I just burned everything that annoyed me." He laughs, deep and honest. "That too." I look up at the fading blood moon. "So what happens now?" He takes my hand. "Now, we rebuild." Together my wolf hums contently. "Our story begins now." I squeeze his hand. "Then let's make it worth the scars." Epilogue. 6 months later, peace sounds like laughter. Real, reckless laughter. The kind that doesn't flinch at thunder anymore. The Blackwell estate has changed. The walls that once echoed with strategy and secrets now hum with life. Wolves spar in the mornings. Pups chase each other across the lawns. And someone's always playing music in the kitchens. And me? I'm sitting in the garden, barefoot, with a mug of coffee that's technically just sugar pretending to be caffeine. My wolf lounges quietly under my skin, half asleep, half listening to the heartbeat inside me that doesn't belong to either of us. Yeah, that heartbeat. Ronan calls it the sound of fate showing off. He finds me exactly where he always does, standing in the doorway, arms crossed, pretending not to watch me smile. You should be resting, he says. I'm literally sitting down, I point out. You're hovering. He comes closer, kneels, and places a hand over my stomach, reverent, protective, ridiculous. You know I still can't believe it. Same, I say. We were supposed to rebuild a kingdom, not a nursery. He grins. We're multitasking. I sip my coffee. You're impossible. And you love me. Tragically. He kisses me anyway, soft, slow, the kind of kiss that says we survived the worst parts of ourselves and still found something worth keeping. Later, the pack gathers for the lunar feast, a celebration of peace and rebirth. The courtyard glows with lanterns, laughter floats through the air. Aiden makes a toast that's 80% sarcasm, 20% sincerity. To our Luna, he says, raising his glass, who burned an army, broke a curse, and still finds time to threaten her alpha's diet plan. Everyone laughs. I roll my eyes. You explode one kitchen, and suddenly you're a legend. Twice, Aiden corrects. Ronan pulls me against him, whispering, Let them worship. I'd rather they stop telling that story about me punching my sister barefoot. It's inspiring, he murmurs, and a little terrifying. I smirk. Good. As the night deepens, I slip away to the edge of the forest. The moon hangs heavy and full, washing everything in silver. The pendant around my neck glows faintly, a constant, quiet reminder of what was stolen and reclaimed. My wolf stirs. We did it, she whispers. We are whole. Yeah, I say softly. We are. Behind me, Ronan joins me in silence. For a while, we just stand there, watching the moon climb higher. You ever wonder what she'd think? I ask. Seraphine. About all this, he sighs. I think she'd hate that you're happy. A small laugh escapes me. Then I'll stay that way. Out of spite. Good, he says, brushing a kiss against my temple. Stay exactly as you are. Weeks later, the council arrives for an inspection. Mostly symbolic, all politics. But when Councillor Voss sees me, she smiles that rare, unreadable smile. Your child, she says, resting a hand over mine. The moonstone reacted when I entered. Do you know what that means? I shake my head. Should I be nervous? Not nervous. Curious, she leans close, whispering, The heir's aura matches both you and the ancient veil prophecy, the one about the bloodline that would heal the fracture between packs. I blink. Wait, there's a prophecy? Why am I always the last to know these things? Ronan chuckles from behind me. Because if she'd known, she'd have argued with it. Obviously, I say. Voss smiles faintly. Prepare yourself, Luna. The world will need your child, and the world will remember you. That night, I lie awake beside Ronan, tracing the scars on his chest, thinking of everything we've survived. Betrayal, suppression, war, rebirth. The moonlight cuts across the room like a benediction. My wolf hums softly, and I feel that smaller heartbeat again. Steady, strong, full of stories yet to come. Ronan stirs beside me, eyes half open. You're thinking too loudly. Always, I whisper. I was wondering if fate's finally done messing with us. He smiles against my hair. Not a chance. But at least we're on her side now. I laugh quietly. Speak for yourself. I'm still billing her for emotional damages. He chuckles, pulling me closer. Sleep, Alara. The night folds around us, calm and infinite. The moon outside glows brighter, as if listening. And when sleep finally takes me, it feels like falling into forever. Into a peace we earned. And a story that's not ending, just changing. Because fate may have written our scars. But I wrote the ending. If you'd rise beside your pack and claim your story, share this one with your own moonlit hearts. Subscribe for more tales where fate flinches first, and love wins anyway.